All right, what's going on, guys? I wasn't really gonna make a video on this just because I don't know how it's gonna turn out. But I picked up this double oven not too long ago for powder coating and just literally anything I need with an oven. But the majority of the stuff that I'm gonna be doing with this is turning it into a powder coating oven. So I watched a couple videos online. Just did a little bit of research just to see what people do to convert this into one big oven. I don't know exactly what I'm doing. I don't really do too much with appliances. And to be honest, I wasn't even going to really make a video on this just because I got no clue how it's going to turn out. But I figured, why not record while I do this? And, you know, if it helps any of you guys out there, that would be awesome. So I'm going to start tearing this oven apart just to see what I can do with it. As far as plans and ideas going into it, I'm not really sure what I want to do. Again, I got no clue what the fuck I'm doing, but I want to pull this out and I want to pull the bottom one out. Like just like a quick summary. I want to try to cut the middle part out. Maybe I can get some sheets of metal to put in there. I could either weld them or self-tapper them in. Regardless, I need to cut a huge fucking hole in this. I got no clue what I'm doing. I watched a handful of videos of people doing it, so I know it is possible. I'm not so sure if, like, what I want to do with the heating elements on the bottom and on the top here. If I want to put them on the sides or just delete them. I'll find a spot for them. Again, I got no clue what I'm doing. I wasn't even going to record this, but I figured if it would help any of you guys out there that want to get into powder coating, kind of like my experience going through it, because I have not done a single thing like this in my entire life. Don't really know where to start, but I'm going to start tearing shit apart, and if all goes well, this will be on YouTube. If not, it won't, but you're probably watching this. So it might have went well. So I'm going to start tearing this apart and we'll go from there. I just want to give everybody an update. Well, you guys an update. I was tearing into this. Literally, again, got no clue what I'm doing. I have been just taking off part by part to see what needs to come out. I got the inner bay completely out. So what was holding that in was literally just screws all the way around. And then all these accessories up here. I just had to, there was screws holding them on also, so I took them off. And then on the back over here, I just needed to unplug a few things. This thing, I believe this is temperature gauge. I'm not fully sure what this is. And then, of course, I needed to unbolt the heating elements. And I actually took the bottom one completely out. I left the top one on, I just unplugged it. So if you unplug everything on the back, it will just come off, and then just literally a whole bunch of like self-tappers and screws. And we are left with all the insulation, I believe you would call this. And I'm not going to cut this yet. I'm going to start with that just so I have a little bit of experience, just to see what exactly I do need to cut. And then this is what the back is. Again, literally, I just took random panels off, found what was plugged in, unplugged it, found what was bolted in, unbolted it, and same with the top, because right here, there was a light. I literally just unplugged the light and then unbolted the light from the inside, and it came off, and I'm left with this. Whole bunch of panels, whole bunch of bolts, whole bunch of like random stuff, and this is where I left off. This is probably, if I were to guess, same thing with the bottom, to slide this cubby off. So I'm going to do the same thing to the bottom. And then once the bottom's out, what I'm going to do is figure out what I need to cut it along the sides and make it one completely big oven. Another quick update. It was a double oven. I unbolted the sides now, and what I did was, because I realized there was a gap underneath here, or in between them, with a whole bunch of wires, which is these wires, obviously. So I need to figure out what I want to do with all of the wires, and this shit, I'm gonna have to reroute it or something because it's a little sus. You know, I can't cut it with all these wires here. So unplugged all the wires. It looks like a door latch and shit. So I don't think it's anything like too pressing. I'll be able to relocate it to the sides or even out if I really wanted to. But what I did was I unbolted it, and I'm really trying not to unplug as many wires as I can, just in case. So what I did was I unplugged as much as I needed to kind of just tip it over. So this is now upside down. So now what I can do is I can unbolt this and, you know, cut what I need to. And then this is obviously the top. So I can unbolt what I need to with this as well. All right, I'm back once again. What's up, guys? I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update of where I'm at. I don't remember the last clip I filmed, so sorry, but I took the top off. It was a couple bolts. Each half was just on those brackets down there, so I pretty much just unbolted the top, or pretty much all those brackets. Flip the top oven over because we're going to be getting rid, since this is the top, we're going to be getting rid of the bottom section, and since this is the bottom, we are going to be getting rid of the top section. I thought I was going to have to do a lot more cutting. Those I'm going to have to do a lot of cutting, but that's okay. I thought that I would have to cut a whole entire square out, but it turns out it's actually just these panels that are sitting on top of here. So pretty much what I did was I literally unbolted that panel, came off. Same with this one, unbolted just bolts on the bottom. It came off, and this insulation was literally just sitting on top. So I just got myself a razor blade and I cut, you know, this section off. So over there now. So now it's pretty much open for the double oven part, or, you know, for like the conversion. So now what I have to do is, it looks like for the oven itself, I'm going to have to cut this bar out. And it looks like that's the only cutting that I'm going to have to do to the oven itself, is just cut this beam out. As for those, I'm going to have to cut the whole entire section out, which honestly, not that bad, doesn't seem terrible. So I'm going to get cracking on this a little bit more. I'm going to mark where I want to cover this. Oh, by the way, guys, I pulled a lot of wiring out. I got no clue what I'm going to do to set it all up again. But what I want to do is just get the frame squared away. So I want this cut out. I want those cut out. I want it back on top. And I want to fill in all the holes with this extra sheet metal. It actually seems like I can use all of this stuff to cover all of the small holes and everything that I'm going to have to cover. So I might not have to go to Home Depot or Lowe's. I might, but if I can use what I already have that I'm already scrapping, I'm going to try to do that, so it saves me a couple beans. But in the meantime, I really just want to get this back on top, that cut out, so it's like one oven. And then from there, because I don't want to stress myself out and jump the gun, I'm going to figure out all the wiring and shit that I unplugged. Of one, what needs to be plugged in and functional, and two, how I'm going to go about wiring it, because I know there's two different controls for the heating elements. I don't know if I only need two. I'm going to try to mount the other two somewhere, but I'm not going to get ahead of myself. I'm going to cut this out, all this stuff, and I'll rendezvous with you guys in a little bit. I cut all the shit out. I'm sorry if some of these updates are pretty repetitive, but I cut everything out and I'm kind of just putting everything back in now. I know there's going to be a big gap of like no metal when I do put it in, and that's okay, because my thought is I'm probably just going to use scrap metal to cover it up, and I can pretty much just like screw them in on the sides. But I slid everything back in. For you guys doing it at home, I didn't take this one out, and I didn't take the, I believe this is the temp sensor. I'm not 100% sure, but it's something that's in there. I'm pretty sure that's the temp sensor. Don't quote me on it. You guys can correct me in the comments. Go right ahead. I don't really care. The pigtail on that, just when you're sliding everything back in, just make sure you pull it through to the other side. That is just like my little tip. But I'm going to continue to mount everything, and I'll show you guys what it looks like then, and whatever I come up with to fill everything in. By the way, guys, I'm not a professional. If I was a professional and did this for a living, I would pay the money to get a big industrial oven. But yeah, I'm just a DIY guy. I love doing things myself, and I just like to, I want to be able to powder coat stuff for the bikes and the car and everything. So honestly, for a DIY, this isn't going terribly already. Like, so far, everything's going really good. I'm honestly very surprised with how easy this is with cutting everything. The hardest part, to be honest, was literally cutting it. And if you guys aren't scared to get a little bit dirty, angle grinder. That's literally all I did. I have an angle grinder. I use that for everything. I literally just use that. So if you guys are a little bit scared to like try things yourself, honestly, the most difficult part is that. I'm not even staying organized with the bolts and everything. Literally just tearing this shit apart. Let me show you guys where I did leave off. I don't exactly remember my last clip, but I cut everything out, and I was able to put the top back on with the original bracket. This was there originally. And what I did was I just had the sheet metal from the back or like the covers or whatnot. Well, the extra shit, I kind of just cut it around to like seal it up. And what I did was I took like the extra fiberglass and I stuffed it back here as well. So it's a little bit more insulated. Kind of looks like shit, not gonna lie. But it does the job. And also what I did was I folded this up. I made a little bracket because it was a little dangly. And then I also folded this one down. So really the next step is wiring it up. So the heating elements do work. And the doors, which are over there. So I went to Home Depot and I picked up these two L bracket things. I picked up hinges, and I picked up, I don't know if this is going to work. I seen someone actually use like a bigger like latch, but I'm going to give this a go. It was worth a try. I didn't want to go anywhere else, but if I have to, I will. So I picked this shit up. I'm going to start building out the doors. Really, I'm just going to lay the doors on it and use those L brackets to lock them together. So I'm going to do that, and I will give you guys an update then. I took the latches out of the door. I pretty much separated the inner and the outer. Separated it. It was two bolts holding the latches on. I took the latches out of both doors. I pretty much laid them the other way on the actual oven. I took this L bracket, and I pretty much just zipped a couple on the sides with that side as well. And then I flipped it around and I hit the top of the L bracket with self-tappers as well. And also what I did was I had some scrap metal and I threw it. I'm going to add maybe a couple more self-tappers. Not fully sure, but there was a little bit of a gap. So I just zipped it on in there just so there wasn't really a gap. So it's one solid door now. So now let me go see if the hinges and the actual latches will work. Not entirely sure if they will, but hopefully they do. Fingers crossed. I'll keep you guys updated. It's not beautiful, but it is done. So where I left off, I pretty much just put the doors together, put some latches on it. Again, not the prettiest, but a latch down here, a latch down here. I use a little L bracket to pretty much bolt the door together, or the doors together. And then on this side, again, it's not beautiful and it's not perfect, but it works. I got some latches here, and I have a latch down below. Again, not perfect. This was literally the only thing that Home Depot had. So in the future, I'm gonna get a bigger latch that can pull this a little bit tighter, because it can go a little bit tighter. I mean, there's a gap in there, but you do see whatever seal that is on the door. But this was the only thing that they did have. As of right now, it works. I'm not too worried about it right now. I did test it. It does work. But for the sake of now, this is staying. I'm going to get a better one in the future. But just to give you an idea of how I went about this, latches, like door hinges, and it does work. Definitely going to get better ones in the future. And just to show you, it opens up like this. Definitely not the prettiest, but it does the job. Elements are there. As you guys can see, that's the sheet metal that I put in so heat doesn't escape. Yeah, again, literally not the prettiest. But let me lash this boy back up real quick. I don't have this top anymore to cover it because I cut like that sheet metal. That was one of the things I used for the sheet metal, and I didn't realize until after, but I really don't care how it looks on the outside. It does the job. I tucked some of the wires in these like metal boxes. I have some wires down here. Pretty much just plugged in the thermostat and all of the heating elements. So all the heating elements are plugged in. You can't see these because they're underneath here. I just wanted to clean it up a little bit, so I threw that back on. And then this is actually plugged in, surprisingly. This is the lock for the bottom door because I wasn't able to start anything because this is the top, this is the bottom. It's a dual oven. The right side, it kept saying that it was locked and it wouldn't allow me to set any of the temperatures. So what I did was the wires that were just like dangling for like the bottom one, I just plugged it back in and I just set it up here. I mean, I literally could like mount it on the side or whatnot, but it's plugged in just so it thinks that it's unlocked, and it works. You know, I can plug it in, the heating elements work, and it really wasn't that bad of a project. I mean, it was a little tedious going in, and if you guys want to build a double oven yourself, the hardest part about this was literally just cutting away to make it one big unit. But plugged it in, cleaned up the wires a little bit, made sure the heating elements and everything worked, and yeah, that's pretty much about it. And I turned it on and it does work, and we can get to powder coating. Kind of excited to start using it. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, you guys can leave them down in the comment section down below. Again, I am no professional. I do not know a single fucking thing about ovens. I literally work in IT and I work on cars. So this is, if I can do it, you guys can do it. Especially if you guys want to get into it as, you know, a hobby, start powder coating some stuff, you know, it works. And I believe anybody can do it. If you can find yourself a double oven for the cheap, I would definitely suggest doing it. I'll see if I can total how much I've spent on this oven, and I'll leave it in the description below. Off the top of my head, I don't know. I picked up the oven for $50, and I probably spent maybe another $50, not even, for like self-tappers and the latches and hinges. I probably spent like $80 on this oven, to be honest. But yeah, so anyways, regardless, if I can do it, you guys can do it. If you guys have any questions, you can leave it in the comment section down below. Definitely give it a try. If you find yourself a double oven, definitely give it a go. It's super easy. I wouldn't be intimidated. Again, the hardest part is cutting it. But yeah, just get yourself a cutoff wheel and you'll be golden. But thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. I'm sorry this wasn't a step-by-step tutorial, but I wanted to walk through the process just to give you guys an idea of me doing this for myself without knowing what I'm doing. So if I can do it, you can do it. So good luck. Any questions, again, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.